Hey, we're doing a 5 video series, and this is number 4 of how you can notice the tension in your body to help you move through that discomfort and understand what kind of discomfort that you actually have and if it's beneficial and what to do about it. So this is video number 4. You can go back to the very beginning if you want, because we've already covered some of the things, or you can just start here. Totally fine. I don't mind doing things out of order. And we're going to talk about something that I know so many people who are doing. They're sitting in some kind of program, a class, or they're watching it, or a Zoom meeting, or something, because a lot of people are looking for, how do I make adjustments in my life? How do I learn something? How do I do something new? Whether that's something that's like, learning how to journal, like kind of that sort of self-help, or learning how to meditate, or learning how mindset works, awareness, that sort of thing. But it might also be something that you're looking to just add more to your professional repertoire. Like you might be, I want to know how to use Midjourney. I want to figure out how to use AI. I don't want to be left behind, and I'm looking to add some extra skills. Or it might be that you're looking to start something new for yourself, new business, or maybe go on to some podcasts or write a book, whatever that happens to be. So oftentimes I find that we're in programs that help us get to that next thing. And that can cause extra tension. And when you've been around the block a few times, like me, I'm 54, you coming back to learning to sit down in something sometimes feels like unfamiliar territory. It feels foreign, right? Like, because you've been the one training other people at work. You've been the leader. And yeah, you can sit there and be a beginner, but you're really not a beginner. Like, I used to buy into the beginner's mind, and I think there's a lot of elements for that. That is good. But you can't just think beginner's mind only, because you can be both an expert and a beginner at the same time. So sometimes what I find is a lot of people come to these classes and they feel like overwhelmed. I've seen it in ones that I've participated in. I've experienced it myself. I've experienced it a lot myself. And I've worked with people who have shared this experience that they've had. And so it's not uncommon for that to happen. So I want to talk about how you can recognize when that tension is showing up in your body, because here's the thing. You're learning something new. Parts of it are going to be uncomfortable. There's a little bit of discomfort that moves you forward into growth. But there's also a little bit of discomfort that just reinforces fear, doubt, and all of those negative things you're not interested in. As a matter of fact, you might be trying to actually do the opposite, get less doubt. And yet, if you don't paying attention to how your discomfort is showing up, it's hard to know which one's going to take you where you want to go. So do you want the path of least resistance, or do you want the path that's always going to feel like pushing a boulder uphill? And so I'm going to help you with that. So imagine sitting in a class, you're learning something new, and something comes up. One of the things that you can do throughout, you can either do it before the class, after the class, or maybe even write it down in like some Post-it notes, like periodically, because you probably have a little bit of breaks, or there's a pause, or they're looking for reactions or something. Instead of always being the first one to jump in, to put something in the chat or whatever it is, or to raise your hand, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you noticing any tension? And you literally can do this in a split second. It doesn't take very long. Just, do I notice tension? And then make a note where it is in your body. And when you find it in your body, one of the easy things that you can do is, I don't know what the tension is from, but I'm noticing it in my shoulders. Just move them around, exercise them a little bit. Now, that might look weird on screen. So if you're doing a in-person class or a Zoom class, that might seem like a little bit weird. So you can get very subtle how you're doing it if you feel uncomfortable with that. Personally, I have no problem doing that because, one, I can turn my camera off, or even if I'm in person, like people, there's ways that you can do it. You don't have to be like, you can do it subtly, like sometimes it's just turning a little bit, or just saying, oh, there's tension. Can I release it? And sometimes you can do it without even really moving anything. So that's one thing that you can do. The other one is I like to do tapping, which we've been talking about in some of the videos. And you can, so you're patting arms and legs are the quickest way to start to neutralize that, to start to regulate. And the legs are a great one to do in meetings because people don't necessarily see you, and you could even do it just subtly. So it's like you're doing it without intention. It's just one of those things, like sometimes people cross their legs and shake their foot. Just one of those things. So that's something that you could end up doing. But the more important thing than anything, even the solving it, what I want you to focus on when I'm talking about this when you're in a class is just to build your awareness, just to be aware of it. That's what I want you to think about.